Hello everyone, Dom here from Esports News UK, joined by another UK scene legend, I want to say, Joe Munchables Fenny. This is your first major League of Legends global broadcast, Joe. I feel like you've been very patient. I think like you've deserved this chance. What's it like to finally be here, MSI London?
First of all, you're too kind. You're a legend yourself, mate. It's amazing. I feel like I've waited a long time for this opportunity. I'm just fresh off of my first cast, which I think went pretty well. Like, not my greatest cast in the history of my world. That was a good sentence. But, I feel like it went okay. The crowd was awesome. It was cool to be in the arena, like, hear my own voice through the speakers. Like, yeah, it was sick. It's an amazing opportunity. I'm so over the moon just to be here. Yeah.
What did you think of the first match? Because I thought PSG did well in that first game. I thought DFM were going to come back into it. Sort of through a little bit. But I felt it was close in that game too.
Yeah. I mean, game number one, Junja did get caught out a couple of times, but I think generally pretty clean from PSG. Game number two, I thought DFM had it in the bag. I was very surprised PSG were able to come back. I will say it's a testament to PSG and their control of the game, because even when DFM were ahead in the second game and they were really pushing the pace for a while. Once it got to the point where we got to the Elder Dragon and that, DFM are still trying to put the pressure on, but PSG were doing an amazing job to mitigate a lot of that pressure, being able to sneak the Baron off of tempo, and then being able, Wako just holding on in the base and managing to trade kills against Elder consistently and hold on to the game. That is a testament to a really great late game team. So honestly, fantastic stuff out from PSG.
I'm so excited to see the games, the lineups we've got. On that note, it's a bit of a mixed reaction when I've been asking people how they feel EU are going to do here. What are your thoughts on EU's chances, but also who you feel will get to those latter stages and maybe win the thing?
Yeah, I think EU's an interesting one because of how playoffs went. Mad Lions having that crazy run, and I feel like you're looking at a very different Mad Lions at the end of finals to when they started playoffs, right? So. The question, it's a very difficult question to answer predictively, because it's which version of Mad Lions are we going to get? Is it the very start version? Is it somewhere in the middle? Is it the end version? Because you never can tell. And G2, being knocked out of playoffs reasonably early compared to expectations, but obviously qualifying from the winter split, spring split, winter split.
Winter, yeah. It's confusing because they added in a third split, and the first one was winter, and the second one was spring.
Yeah. Winter's the last one of the year, in theory.
That's how I see it as well.
But yeah, I feel like G2 are going to be coming in very well prepped, you'd imagine. They've had a lot of time to know they're coming to MSI. I can imagine that we've seen it before where G2, even if they fumble a bit, there's been multiple times where, for example, in the upper bracket, they lose to Fnatic and then they come back and then beat Fnatic in the final. I feel like they're a team that's very good at that, so I imagine they're going to come in very well prepped. The question is whether or not prep is enough. Apparently, they're doing quite well in scrims from what I've heard, but how true that all is and how much scrims matter, it's all down to your own personal taste of how much you take that with a pinch of salt.
Yeah, I was lucky enough to interview Caps the other day, and he said they've scrimmed loud, and he seemed pretty confident going into that match. And also, he's top of the solo queue ladder as well. But us interviewing other people, Trajan earlier was saying which Caps is going to turn up, basically. Caps is on form until he isn't. So it'll be interesting to see how things go. Yeah. But who do you think, who are among your favourites for this tournament? Who might we see on finals weekend, that sold-out weekend?
I think the most obvious answer to the question is JDG versus Genji. Seed 1 from LCK and LPL. I think the top 4 in this tournament, I think you've got JDG and Genji are. There's a little bit of a gap underneath there than T1 and BLG, which I think a lot of people really rating T1 coming into this tournament despite their finals. I feel like I'm leaning towards the recency more than a lot of people are. I think a lot of people are kind of rating based on potential peak performance, which is predictions are always a dangerous game, right? Because it really does depend on what you prefer, but at the end of the day, what shows up is not always the same thing as what you're predicting on. But I think BLG are kind of underrated coming into the tournament. They didn't look super hot during the finals, but if you look at the upper bracket game they had against JDG, they looked absolutely on fire. And Bin is a player that he's never not looked good at an international. I feel like he always shows up at internationals. I think he just loves the hype of being on that stage and the excitement of that. I feel like it comes alive at these kinds of tournaments. So I feel like Bin is, like, BLG are a team to watch, but Bin specifically is a big player to watch in this tournament for me.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what happens. Tell the world and the UK scene a bit about Munchables as well, because you've done lots of other broadcasts over the years. I remember interviewing you when you were back at ESL UK doing the UK League of Legends Premiership.
Yeah.
RIP doesn't exist anymore. Yeah, tell us a bit about your background, and because this is your first MSI.
Yeah, my first time at a Riot official international. I actually did an international before. I did IEM 2017.
Yes.
Long time ago now, in Poland, in Katowice.
With Excoundrel.
Excoundrel was, he was hosting the desk, and I cast with Vedius on one of the semi-finals, I think.
Vedius as well has been around a while, hasn't he?
Yeah, that's a long time ago now. But for anyone that doesn't know me, I commentate the LPL regularly. I'm also doing a bit of commentary in Valorant now. I've just started to dip my toes in that, so I'm hoping to do a bit more Valorant because I'm loving the game at the minute. But yeah, I'm hoping that I could do more internationals in League as well. I'm hoping for a couple of casting assignments for week number 2, but we'll see whether that can happen or not. But yeah, I honestly just hyped to be here because I feel like I've been casting League for a decade at this point, from hobbyist to professional, you know, and like I've always watched these tournaments. I tweeted earlier today that I went to All Stars Paris in 2014, and I took I was a Fnatic fan at the time, like a wee nipper, and I got a bunch of signatures on it, and I've still got that with me. That's like my travel mouse mat. So I've got that with me today, like 9 years on.
The old Fnatic logo.
Yeah, and it's exactly, and it's the All Stars with the tournament that was sort of the predecessor to this tournament.
That's right.
So it feels kind of poetic that I finally made it here. This was my dream all those years ago. So yeah,
I'm super happy for you, Joe. And just lastly, I've been doing Cockney rhyming slang because we're in East London. I was born here with different people. Now I hope you're going to say no to this question, otherwise you'll know some of the answers. Did you see my Caps interview?
I haven't.
Good.
I've heard of the fact that you're doing rhyming slang.
Yeah.
But I haven't actually seen any of the interviews.
Well, I gave Yinsu some harder questions earlier because she's from London. And she did get one. I think she got one of the harder questions, but I didn't know any of those answers. I had to Google them myself. So you try and guess the Cockney rhyming slang. Apples and pears.
Stairs.
Dog and bone.
Phone.
Steffi Graf.
It's
a bit of an unorthodox one, that.
Yeah, I don't know. Steffi Graf. I'm trying to think of anything that rhymes with graph.
This is what Caps did, and I did a TikTok with him, and he took a good 20 seconds thinking, and then he got it.
Laugh?
Got it.
Is it?
You got all three.
Okay,
I'll give you one of the harder ones then. Let's see if you can get the one that...
I'm not Cockney myself. I guess that third one.
This is the one that Yinsu got. Dustbin lids.
Dustbin lids. Kids?
Got it. I've got to keep going until you get one wrong here. Duck and dive.
I've heard this one before. Duck and dive. Is it like a jive? Like a dance?
No.
It's
caught Yinsu out because I don't think this is a full rhyme. I feel this is a half rhyme.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Hide, apparently.
Hide?
This is according to Google. I hope Google's correct, but...
okay, fair enough, yeah.
You did well.
Yeah,
you've been our best so far, right? So I'm going to have to carry...
two already,
yeah, they're the obvious ones, aren't they? Joe, it's been a pleasure talking to you. I really wish you all the best at this tournament. It's really good seeing you on the screen, seeing you on the stage. Any parting words? Anything you'd like to add?
Just excited to be here. Honestly, I hope to do more. Good luck to JDG and BLG. I really hope that, especially Knight, I really hope he can have a great international show up. You know, he's kind of flopped previously. I want to see him show up for this one. So, yeah, I guess just... Jayo to BLG and JDG.
You heard it here. Thanks everyone for watching. Please like and subscribe. Yinsu told me to say that and comment and all of that stuff because I'm not very good at that stuff. And I'll be back with more content soon.